So the authorities are probably searching everywhere around World 1, so Toad has no choice but to escape underground. And not just underground, but to Subcon. Yes, he's going into a dream world to escape the authorities. So World 2 is based on Super Mario Bros. 2, sort of. Kinda like World 1 was kinda based on Super Mario Bros. 3 sometimes, but it wasn't entirely Super Mario Bros. 3. It was other stuff sometimes, but for the most part it is SMB2, and this first section is fairly reminiscent of Super Mario Bros. 2. Not exact, but the second section has that little hill over there. No potion there this time, though there is actually a potion object in the editor itself. Basically, I think it like spawns a door or something. I've never actually been quite sure how to use it myself, but I don't think that was actually in the update for the Invasion 2, so it's just veggies up here. And we also have a section where, not this one, but I believe this one? Yep, this is a POW block. POW blocks work like they do in New Super Mario Bros., where not only do they destroy all enemies on the ground, but they also make coins drop. That area was pretty much designated for you to find that, but it's kind of a neat little feature. It can be useful. But yeah, from here on out, it's a bit different, because we don't have the caves section, and up. For once, my jump being lower actually screwed me, and I can't quite get over, but no, he's too low. And while ice blocks might be able to float in air if the enemy's in midair when you hit them with an ice flower, if you pick them up, then putting them down will cause them to fall to the ground, so that's weird. They only float if they start floating, basically. That would have been a much easier way to say that. But yes, I do appreciate the Super Mario Bros. 2 reference. I don't quite think the level design is as good as SMB2's, but it's okay. Oh, and quick thing to note, in the original Invasion, World 2 was actually where you got the Fire Flower for the first time, or where it really first started appearing. The thing about Super Mario Bros. 2 enemies is, though, they're actually invincible to Fire Flowers. I guess the logic was that because there were no Fire Flowers in Super Mario Bros. 2... Oh, hey Mr. Saturn, how's it going? Oh, whoops, sorry about that. Just throw him off a waterfall, boing. But anyway, yeah, I guess the logic is that because there weren't any Fire Flowers in Super Mario Bros. 2, that means they're invulnerable to Fire Flowers. So that is kind of funny, because originally they were actually vulnerable to it before a change in one of the later updates, and oh, I wonder where the secret exit in this stage could be. Huh, well, I guess I'll just go into this pipe. But yeah, it was changed somewhere down the line, so yeah, while Fire Flower was originally introduced in World 2, now the enemies are completely invulnerable to it. So instead, this is kind of where you get the Ice Flower a bit more. But anyway, I'm gonna go back to the secret exit, and I wonder where it could possibly be. Maybe it's near the end of the stage. Oh, where could the secret exit be? Where could it possibly be? Maybe it's up the pipe. Yep, you go here and it's actually a different warp. Make sure to pick up the key there, because if you don't, well, you're gonna get here and you'll be kind of confused. And of course, make sure you jump correctly, or you're going to die while getting the secret exit. So that is actually a pretty huge shortcut right there, but we're going to move on to Megaton Vasel. Oh boy. Actually, wait, no, this isn't the thing. Thank you, Lamp Shading Toad. I can't believe we can still see the sky in this underground area, even though we're in Subcon, which is the Land of Dreams. But anyway, this isn't the one I was thinking of, but it is kind of an annoying stage. A little bit. I mean, it is one of those digging stages. I will say it's a lot better than the digging sections in the original Super Mario Bros. 2, because those it was pretty much just dig a whole lot and there's nothing much else to do. This one actually has some sort of level design, and actually I believe this does introduce a pretty cool item. Not here, though. Yeah, it doesn't seem like this. We have to remove this so that bob-ombs will spawn. Because, of course, if you put something in front of a spawn point, well, nothing will spawn. And we don't want that. We also don't want to repeatedly freeze the bombs because they're completely useless like that. So if I could stop doing that, it's as simple as dropping these walking bombs onto the crumbly blocks so they blow up, and you only need about 2 to actually get through this section. Easy enough, right? I mean, the jump's kind of tricky just because, I don't know, it's kind of a tight space, I guess. Oh, here's the item. So this, of course, freezes time, which is kind of useful. Not really the best item here, though we can get past this sniffet without any trouble. But yeah, everything freezes, even veggies. See? Ah, that missed. Too bad I didn't get a cool skill shot right there. Ah, well. But anyway, yeah, it is a pretty useful item. There is actually another version of it, which I believe is a green clock, which has the same effect. However, it does allow you to store that item, which is useless for Peach and Toad and Link because they can't store items at all. But for Mario and Luigi, that item is pretty useful. You can just store a clock in your inventory and you can freeze time anytime you want. There's also a custom item, a time-stopping P-switch, which was introduced for this game, but I don't think that actually appears in the Invasion 2, and I don't think it was in the update that Invasion 2 was released on. I'm not quite sure. I don't have them all memorized. And there are some coins over here, but no way down to that area over there. And I didn't see any vases. Maybe it's like the last stage where we have to go back into a vase in order to get to the secret exit? Well, not really, because when we go to the exit... Yeah, that's a huge dick move right there. Oh, well, it's at the end of the level, so... Now we have to do the entire level over again. Anyway, here we are, at the end of the stage. Go down this vase. Now, it's annoying to have to do the stage twice, but at least it gives you plenty of coins for your trouble. That's kinda nice. Still not worth it. I wish the secret exit wasn't at the end of the stage, because that's always annoying when it happens. Because seriously, it's nothing different. You do the entire stage over again, and there's no extra skill needed to get the secret exit. No, it's doing the stage twice, except you don't take the normal exit. That's annoying. At the very least, this reward is helpful. But we're not going to go there just yet, because we're actually going to go back to Frosty Frostland, and man, that world name is actually kind of annoying to say. And yep, we finally get to go to the second stage here, which is Frigid Awesome Land. And the secret exit is kind of annoying, because you have to build a bridge at the start of the stage. But that's not the only thing there is to this secret exit, so we're definitely not going to do that right now. I don't want to waste time. That is actually one way that Mario's ability to get coins is better than pretty much everyone else's, because he actually obtains the coins. You probably won't get the coins there, and if you have Hammer, you can break these blocks. So we can't get through there just yet, but yeah, Mario can actually just obtain the coins. Everyone else, they have to hit the box with the coin on top of it. Like, if you haven't noticed, if a coin is on top of a box after you've removed it from another box, like if you break a box or it's a question mark block, it will be collected if you hit it. It's kind of confusing, but if you see it in action, it makes sense. So yeah, this is the only other real gimmick to this stage, is this little challenge right here. You gotta get all the purple coins. It's definitely not a necessity, though, and I should be doing this faster, to be honest, but I did it just in time, and all it's worth is a life. I mean, it makes sense. It's really not that difficult to challenge. It's not going to give you anything huge for it, especially this early on in the game. But that's pretty much the only thing there is to this stage. It does give you a lot of ice flowers rather than fire flowers, but those are blocks that can be melted. Oh, damn it. The ones that look kind of weird, like the one I'm just standing on top of, is actually a frozen muncher. Those are basically spikes, except they're tiny little plants, so don't unfreeze those because they hurt. The other ones, obviously enough, are coins. And I just completely ignored my own advice. Wow, I'm dumb. Well, clearly that was just to show off that you can create munchers by melting the blocks around them, and that's a bad idea. But anyway, yeah, that is a Super Mario Bros. 3 gimmick. And now that we're done with that stage, if we go through this here pipe, this is actually the standard way to get to this side of the world. So yeah, you technically do have to go through the ice worlds that time if you don't take the secret exit in the first level, but the first level secret exit is easy to find, so it's not necessary to come here. And we just broke into this guy's house, but he's fine with it. He just lets us take his items, and we don't have to murder his pet in order to obtain these. Oh god, I still hear Hugo's screams. They won't stop. They won't stop. Anyway, if you've played Super Mario Bros. 3, this is the hammer suit. But Toad actually has a custom hammer suit in which he throws a boomerang. You can only throw one at a time, but it does actually collect items which can be useful. Mario, of course, has a standard hammer suit. Both Mario and Luigi just throw hammers, as you'd expect from Super Mario Bros. 3. However, if you give a hammer suit to Princess Peach, she actually throws heart bombs. They're explosive. They're not too much different than the hammer suit. It's not like Toad, who has just a completely different item for hammer suit, but it is different. And thankfully Link can grab this key. He can, through a great amount of effort, unearth plants. Now, Link's is also different in that he shoots sword beams, which is a pretty nifty power-up. So anyway, I'm gonna go back to the ice world. Okay, so don't worry about these blocks. Even though that some of the hammer suits are different, they all do the same thing, and that is crush the gray blocks. So even if you're playing as Toad and his boomerangs, you're a-okay. And don't worry, I took the liberty of taking care of that block bridge for you, because you don't need to watch that. So that does lead to one last level in this world, but of course, as per usual, we're not going to go there for quite a while, actually. Okay, not that long, but we're not going there in the next video, actually. And this is the level I was thinking of earlier, Field of Shotgun Vases. I don't know why I didn't remember this name. It's pretty unique. Oh, and this item is actually pretty useful. Oh, really? Really? Fine. Anyway, this stage is kind of annoying just because the timing on those things is... seriously? You won't just collect the power-up now? That's annoying. But yeah, the timing on these vases is really weird. Like, it's a lot longer than you'd think it'd be, so jumping here makes me really nervous. Oh geez, I don't know how I managed that. But yeah, you can see why I'd be a bit paranoid about jumping from vase to vase, right? Because you'd think you'd be able to ride the bombs up, but nope, if you hit them, then you get hit. Because usually you can stand on those bombs, but not when they're being launched upwards, apparently, which is very annoying. Yeah, this level, I kinda like it, but it's very annoying, so I don't really like it that much. I'm very conflicted about this stage. Oh geez, that could have been dangerous. Possibly. I don't know. Might have been able to hit me. I don't want to take any chances and... Oh look, custom object. I don't know why that's there. There's really no reason, but... whatever. It's just there for a bit of flavor, I guess. Now, over here we actually have the secret exit. Or at least the lock to the secret exit, but no key, and I do not want the fire flower. Do not take the fire flower when bombs are involved, otherwise you'll blow yourself up. Freezing bombs is so much safer. And that's the midpoint. That's actually a good midpoint placement. But, we're not done with the stage just yet. Thankfully, it's not really huge on the... Well, I didn't need that ice flower anyway, but I did kill a man with it, so that's pretty good. It's not huge on the bomb gimmick at this point. There are the bombs right there, but that's just a dead end. We don't have to worry about thrusting ourselves into... Really? Thrusting ourselves into bombs. Anyway, yeah, I got hit right at the end. Whoops. Anyway, time to go for the secret exit. Be right back. So, remember that dead end? Well, it's not so much a dead end, actually, because if you go in this vase, there's a key up there, and make sure to follow the coins there. Trust me, I've tried jumping ahead so many times, and it's been the death of me pretty much every time. At the very least, it's gotten me hit. Even with Peach you can float, I wouldn't suggest doing that, because you don't know where you're gonna land. Probably, anyway. I mean, you can guess, but again, it's just safer to follow the coins down and not have to worry about getting yourself hit or killed. And from here on out, it's not that simple, because you can still get hit by bombs. It's a possibility, and man, that bullet went far. But for the most part, you don't have to worry about it too much. You're probably used to that section by now. And that doesn't actually lead straight to the fortress, it does lead to a 2-exit level. So here we are in Token Water level. I gotta be honest, I don't think Redigit really likes water levels that much. Because honestly, they're some of the weakest in the game. We'll see that more in Water World, but this does kind of remind me of Super Mario Bros. 1 water levels, because the obstacles are very spread out. I mean, there is a kind of unique danger in that you can't cheat your way past these blocks, because if you try, then you will just create a bunch of poison mushrooms, and that would be bad. Even still, though, they're not really that huge an obstacle to avoid. It's pretty easy to get past them, and it's pretty easy to get past everything else. Oh yeah, and by the way, I'd just like to point out that nobody but Mario and Luigi has a swimming sprite, so it kind of looks awkward because they just jump through the water. I'd just like to point that out. But yeah, it's kind of a dull level, and it's one of the few single-exit levels in this entire world, actually. So, yeah, I don't think he really cared about working on this one too much. Probably doesn't care for water levels. Even if that's not the case, then they are definitely not his strong point. This section is a bit better, though there are jellyfish everywhere, but at the very least it's a little less wide open, and it's a little bit more difficult to avoid obstacles. Not by much, though. It's pretty easy still. Just gonna travel on. Just gonna keep going on and on and on and on. And the exit is right there, so easy enough. See, we're done with this one. Definitely not one of the best levels in the game, but at least it's only a single level, or at least it's only a single exit level, rather. And we go to Super Pipe Action Town. That's actually a pretty great name. I don't know, Lampshade Toad. Thank you for asking the important questions. I can't believe Mario games are weird. That is pretty odd, right, guys, that Mario games are weird, and mushrooms just spawn from pipes. That I just can't believe how crazy this series is. But anyway, yeah, that's about enough mocking of the Lampshade Toad. We're gonna go on to this, it's a pretty good level. It's a vertical level, which is, you know, it's a bit unusual, so it's pretty cool. So that's pretty cool. Don't go into any of these pipes, otherwise you'll just go to the pipe on the other side. It won't kill you or anything, but, you know, it's just a minor annoyance. But yeah, this is a pretty neat, if short, level. You know, I wish Lampshade Toad were here to just question why the water doesn't fall through the pipes to the other levels. I mean, that is also pretty wacky as well. So this is a pretty easy stage overall, but I gotta admit, it does seem like it's going to end and then it says nope, and then it keeps going. Not like a bad keeps going, like, oh, I can't believe this level is still going on and on, but, you know, you think it's over, but then there's another section. But, nonetheless, it's still pretty short, because each individual section is pretty short. So that'll lead to the fortress, but so will this level. Brickhole Massacre. Alright, I forget... Oh wait, no, now I remember which one this is. So this is one of the few actually underground levels of the underground world. How many underground levels have there even been in this underground world? Let's see, there was the previous stage, and there was the water stage, and then there's this one. Oh man, I can't believe this underground stage takes place mostly above ground, as Lampshade Toad pointed out earlier. How crazy. So this is a section, I guess. Oh man, did you know that shells destroy bricks? And that if you wait, this shell will eventually open the way up. It's kind of a pointless section, to be honest, because there are no enemies and you just sort of wait. Then again, if there were enemies, it would just be an automatic couple of lives, because eventually the shell would end up giving you lives for that. So, this section isn't too complicated. It actually reminds me more of Super Mario Bros. 1 than SMB 2, really. That's too bad. I can't really help you, Toad, though, so sorry. But anyway, yeah. As I said earlier, this isn't exactly Super Mario Bros. 2 land, even though it is named Subcon. There is some other stages, or other style of stage here. And again, we have falling coins. I think that was just placed there so you'd point that out, and if you're fast enough... Ah, damn. You could probably get a few extra lives from that shell, but the fact that you have to travel so far and the shell might miss means you're probably not. Speaking of life, you might have noticed that life back there. My advice, never go for that life, because you will probably end up dying. It looks like a fairly easy life to get, right? Well, here's the thing. Moving layers don't always work as intended. In fact, if you try to go through that section, there's a pretty good possibility that it might sort of glitch out and think that you're getting crushed when you're not, but it's just the way moving layers work, so you might end up getting yourself killed trying to go for that life, so absolutely don't go for it ever. I mean, if you know exactly how moving layers work and how to avoid that glitch, then sure go for it, but I would not suggest it. But the rest of this level is fairly easy, just as long as you don't get yourself killed for an extra life. And I'm pretty sure that's the end of the level right there. Easy enough, right? Go through the pipe, and here we are at the end. But what... Really? I am very good at getting myself hurt at the end. But anyway, as I was about to say, there is a secret exit here, and we haven't actually found the Star Warp, so what could possibly be the secret exit here? Oh yeah, and I didn't even point it out before, but that extra life that could get you killed is right before a checkpoint. That's fantastic. So yeah, that seemingly innocent-looking extra life could very well get you killed right before you're halfway through the stage. Sort of halfway. I feel like checkpoints are usually a bit lopsided in this game. They're either a bit too early or a bit too late. I mean, levels are usually fairly short, but still. Nonetheless, it should be here, right? Yep, there it is. I usually accidentally get this secret exit because it's just a habit of mine to press down when I'm on top of a pipe, even when I know there is a bonus stage that I don't need to get. Like usually when I'm playing this on my own, I end up just going right to the secret exit twice in a row, and you can't actually get out of the secret area once you go there. But anyway, the Star Warp did open up, but there's no point in going there since we need 3 stars in order to get a reward. So here we are at the fortress of this world, which of course is based on Super Mario Bros. 2. The castle stages to be specific, which it does a decent job. I mean, of course, they are missing one fairly big gimmick that a lot of the Super Mario Bros. 2 castles had. We'll see that in a minute. Actually, not even a minute. There's a key right here, right? We pick it up, and do you know what's missing? If no, then you'll probably remember in just a minute. But yeah, there is a feature that isn't really in Super Mario Bros. X. I have seen people try to replicate it to a pretty decent amount of success, but yeah, if you're just using the normal editor and you don't really know how to make anything too gimmicky and you aren't really too good with events, you won't be able to replicate a Super Mario Bros. 2 castle in its entirety. And, of course, this does really want you to use mushroom blocks. If there was a super jump, we wouldn't need to use these. But, yeah, see these Phantos? They're just decorations. You can't actually get Phantos to chase you in this game. I think that people generally use, like, modified booze or something like that when they want to make a Phanto. Something like that, anyway. I have seen people try to make them. I'm not quite sure of success, though, and oh, god damn it, that is the worst possible situation. I've handled this section better before. I think that's stating the obvious just because I don't know how you could screw something up as much as I just did there, but I just like to point out that I've done better. But, unfortunately, I did have a couple of bad runs due to the boss. Also, this section always makes me nervous because I don't like throwing bombs. Didn't like it in Super Mario Bros. 2, don't like it here. But your reward for this is a Fire Flower, an extra life, and probably more extra lives because there are a ton of coins here. Luigi is great for this level. Mario and Peach, though, are the absolute worst because you just have to stand here hitting these blocks forever because they only get one coin at a time. Toad is kind of the middle just because he does eject coins, just not all at once. Actually, I think Luigi might not be entirely all at once if there are that many coins, but I'm not quite sure. And so the boss is Wart, who's actually really difficult in Super Mario Bros. X because his bubbles are all over the place, they move fast, and in situations like this, I don't feel like vegetables spawn quickly enough sometimes. I mean, his bubbles don't destroy vegetables like they did in Super Mario Bros. 2, but they're really hard to avoid here. And I absolutely hate fighting him. And yeah, pretty much my only deaths in this world came from fighting Wart. And I mean, this isn't that long of a stage, but it was really annoying to have to do it over again and again. Oh yeah, by the way, if you notice that my score lowered sometimes, that's because score resets every time you quit, so there's not really much of a point to score. But anyway, thankfully I just barely beat Wart, so now we can leave this dream world. Next time on Super Mario Bros. X, we go to Dino Island, the best world in the game, though I might be a little biased in that regard to be completely fair, but hey, whatever.